Tyler Early Weather Briefing Project. My cross-country trip from Kilo Mike Papa Oscar to Kilo November Sierra, I used a WX brief to get my Outlook briefing along with my standard weather briefing for today's cross-country trip. Here's my prog chart for today's analysis. As you can see, there is a mix of rain and snow along the entire East Coast. More rain in our area and south. We have a stationary front north of us, along with a cold front pushing through our entire East Coast, making it windier and unstable. Along my route of flight, you can see that there's going to be high winds and turbulence throughout the flight, going from 30 knots. Some areas you could even see up to 80 knots on the route of flight at 6,000 feet. Here's my navigation log from KP&O to LNS. I used a lake and 2 highways as my plottage points since I just went direct, not using any VORs. Using these 3 points in large plots, I'll be able to see them from up high to keep me along my route of flight. Using 6,500 feet along my route, wind directions were 255, 223, and 309 around the flight. My ground speed was heading into a headwind, so I was going to be very slow at 86 knots to 73 knots. Starting fuel was 51 gallons. Since startup and taxi use up a good bit, especially as a student, you go pretty slow at getting out of there. Finishing off at 41 gallons getting to my destination. Here are a couple airspace NOTAMs that were going on at the time. So you have a airspace NOTAM for laser light demonstration, 50 nautical miles from North Carolina. Not a factor for my route of flight since we're in Pennsylvania, but it was still something that they was concerned about. VOR at Allentown was out. Again, wasn't using it, so it wasn't a factor for my flight. And then taxiway NOTAMs, runway lights, and stuff like that were out. Nothing too crazy. Is there any weather phenomenon that will affect my success on our pre-planned country flight? So there are weather phenomenons. There was turbulence and thunderstorms, rain, and super low ceilings. The weather was across our entire route of flight. How it changed my planning was that it delayed for the flight for another day. Here was my Outlook briefing and my standard briefing. My Outlook for Pocono Mountain Regional was low IFR, fog, wind from 100 at 6 knots, 1/4 statute visibility, vertical visibility of 200 feet, temperature 4 degrees Celsius, 2.4 degrees Celsius, and altimeter was 29096. Today's current conditions for Pocono Mountains was IFR, light rain, wind from 109 at 8 knots, 10 statute mile visibility, ceiling overcast at 900 feet, temperature 13 degrees, 2.12 degrees Celsius, and altimeter 29053. Between the 2 days, you can see it changes from low IFR to IFR, and winds changing directions. Yesterday, the visibility was 1/4 mile, while today is 10 statute miles, and it went from 2 vertical to 900 feet overcast today. So in just a short time, you can see that the weather drastically changed, which altered my decision for no-go and go decision. As a VFR flight plan, I was not able to continue this flight. What is your go/no-go decision on the weather report? So as I just said before, this was my VFR flight plan. I would have to say no due to thunderstorms within the vicinity, along with turbulence and rain and low ceilings. To ensure I'm able to clear any obstacle, I would want a higher ceiling to fly a cross-country flight for today. On top of that, we would have thunderstorms, which for me at my stage of training and the little airplane cannot handle that type of weather, nor do I want to fly within that type of weather. So this would be a no-go and cancel the flight altogether to ensure my safety and my no-go decisions. Thank you.